Welcome to Intro to Parts, Part 3. This time we're going to focus on creating three-dimensional parts. So where we last left off was we created our two-dimensional drawings, practicing our drawing tools. Now we're going to close out our first sketch. We can do that by simply hitting this green check mark. You can see that we have sketch 1 identified on this side. But what we're going to want to do on this one is we're going to hide this sketch. By clicking on this eye, it allows us still to have it there, but to be hidden. I'm going to use my orientation cube to clearly see my three planes. And this time I'm going to create a sketch. And I'm going to place it on my top plane. So you can see that top plane is highlighted. You can see my piece of sketch paper is laid down. I'm going to go to my orientation cube and click on the top. I'm going to now create a 2x2x2 cube. I'm going to click on my rectangle tool. I'm going to click on my center point of my axis, the 0, 0 point, and I'm going to drag up and to the right. And again, I want a 2-inch square. So I'm going to get approximate. I'm going to click down again to lay it down, and I'm going to type 2, enter, 2, enter. You're going to notice that plus sign shows that this tool is still activated. So I'm now going to hit the escape button to have my pointer tool, which is new up here. We can see our extrude button. What an extrusion does, it allows you to expand on a closed drawing, meaning that there's no gaps, like all the points of the drawing either do not overlap and are closed. So I'm going to click on an extrusion. And it highlights that face of that sketch I just drew. I get a menu here. Because I want it 2x2, I'm going to put 2 inches. That makes my extrusion 2 inches, and I can click on my green check mark. Now that it doesn't appear to have done much, but if I grab my navigation cube, I can see, gaining perspective, that I've created a 2x2 cube. So I'm going to come back over here, and I can see this is now called part 1 because it has an extrusion on it. It is now identified as a part by the program. I'm going to click on my little eye icon to hide that because I would like to create another part here. So I'm going to come back to my sketch. I'm going to lay another sketch down on that top plane. I'm going to grab in orientation to view the top. Now I want to create a 2 by 1.5 by 1.5 rectangle. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. And again, I can do this anywhere on here. So I'm just going to grab here and I'm going to draw a rectangle that is 3 inches long by 1.5 inches in width. Now I'm going to do something different on this one just to show you how the extrusion works. I'm going to gain my perspective, and I can see that drawing on that graph paper now. I'm going to click my extrude button. That face that I drew, that closed drawing, is now highlighted, and we can see that extrusion happening in real time. Because I want my rectangle to be 1.5 by 1.5, I'm going to type in 1.5 in my extrusion, my green check mark, and I now can see that. So if I highlight part 1, I can see part 1 is there, part 2 is there. If I click that eye again, I can hide part 2, and I can have that blank drawing space again.